Hey guys, it's Lauren. Welcome back to my channel. This is Books and Tea and all things me, and I am so glad that you are here today. Today I am here to do my first book review of 2016, and I'm very excited that I finally started this series. I have been hearing so much about the Lunar Chronicles, especially since Winter just came out recently, which is the first book that's come out while I've been a part of BookTube. So obviously the hype was real for that, as it was the series ender, so I decided to start the Lunar Chronicles series this year, and it's going to be one of the series that I finish for my goal to read 5 series in 2016. So this will be one of the 5 that I read, and I'm so excited that I chose this one. Today I'm going to be reviewing Cinder. This is the first book in the Lunar Chronicles series, and it is the only one that I have read so far. I just finished it yesterday, and I really enjoyed it, so I just wanted to share my thoughts with you about this book, Cinder by Marissa Meyer. So the Lunar Chronicles series is basically fairy tale retellings, but with a sci-fi kind of aspect to it. And this first book, Cinder, follows our main character, Cinder, who is essentially Cinderella in this story, but she is a cyborg. So basically what that means is that she lives in the human world with humans, but she has like some robot parts to her. She was in a tragic accident when she was 11 years old and required reconstructive surgery, and so she has a fake leg and a fake hand that are metal. She also has like this chip in her brain that allows her to download data, and she also has this little light that will blink in the corner of her vision when someone is lying. So she has like these special capabilities because she's a cyborg, and that is a part of the story that I really enjoyed. I wasn't sure what I was gonna think about it. When I heard cyborg, I thought she was gonna be a lot less human, but Cinder as a character is actually very human. She just has to learn to deal with these cyborg parts of her, and that was a really great part of the story in my opinion. So to kind of tell you what the plot of this book is without spoiling anything, Cinder lives with her stepmother and 2 stepsisters, as the Cinderella story goes, and basically there's this plague that is running rampant throughout the country, and it is affecting lots and lots of people, including the emperor in their town of New Beijing. Cinder is a mechanic who fixes things in the town square. She has a little booth that she sets up in order to provide money for her family. It's just her stepmother, and her 2 sisters because her father had passed away several years prior from the plague, and one day the prince, who is next in line to be emperor, comes to her mechanic stand and says that he has heard she is the best mechanic in New Beijing and he would like her to fix his android. So Cinder gets to meet Prince Kai in this interaction, and I just loved that as well. That was a really fun part of the story for me because Cinder's little sister, Peony, she is like obsessed with Kai, and so that was sort of fun that Cinder was acting all like she didn't really care about him, like she didn't think he was that cute, and then obviously when she meets him she starts to think a little bit differently. So as the story progresses, the plague starts to spread and affects people who are close to Cinder. I'm not gonna say who because I don't want to spoil anything, but this plague is a really huge part of this story. Also, amidst all of the devastation that the plague is bringing to the Commonwealth, which is the name of the world in this story, there is also this sort of interstellar conflict between the Commonwealth and Lunar, which is the moon, and is ruled by the evil Queen Lavanna. So I don't want to say a whole lot more than that, but Cinder finds out a lot of things about herself and her past that gets her kind of all caught up into this political conflict that is happening between the Commonwealth and Lunar. And also Prince Kai finds himself needing to make a lot of decisions as well, and you really see a lot of growth from these characters as the story progresses. So that's really all I can say about the plot without spoiling anything for you. There is so much more that happens in this book, especially at the end, but you'll have to read it to find out what those things are if you haven't read it already. So now I'm gonna go on and talk about how I came up with my rating for this book. And if you watched my recent video about how I rate books, I'm just gonna kind of start breaking my reviews up into those 5 categories that I use to rate my books. I think that will be a really nice way for me to kind of tell you what I thought. Since we were talking about the plot already, let's talk about that first. The plot in this book is a little bit slow at times. I was finding myself wondering what all the hype was about this book at certain times throughout the story. I feel like this book is a lot of world building and character building and not a lot of actual action and plot content. So that being said, the plot of this story was not necessarily my favorite thing. However, if we move on to the world building, I will say that I thought the world building in this book was excellent. I think this is a really good setup for the rest of the series. I feel like I understand this world for the most part. I have a feeling in the second book we're going to kind of go into some uncharted territory that's new that we haven't seen within the world, but I'm really excited for that. I think I have a good enough base understanding of what this world is all about to really anticipate and be excited about where we're going next. So on to the characters. I love these characters. I absolutely loved Cinder. She is a wonderful main character. She's so different from any other character that I've ever read. Obviously, partly because she's a cyborg, but also because she just has this very unique personality. Throughout this story, she doesn't really have any special powers or anything that really sets her apart from anyone else in the world, which I really like because she's just this very ordinary girl and she's very easy to relate to. And then we've got Prince Kai, who is kind of mysterious to me yet. I feel like we do know a lot about him, but I want more. I want more of his character, and wanting more did not take away anything from my enjoyment of this book. I really, really did enjoy his character. I just can't wait to learn more about him because I think I'm really, really gonna like him. I already like him. I think he's a great character, and I'm definitely shipping him and Cinder, but I hope to see more of him and his character development in the future books. And then there's a couple other characters I just want to touch on. Her stepmother is, of course, evil. I think they did a really good job of making her like the evil stepmother, like Cinderella's stepmother. I just really don't like her. I want her to be out of the picture. Queen Lavanna, plain evil. She is just plain evil. I hate her. I can't believe there's a whole book about her, but I like sort of want to read it because I hear that everybody really likes Fairest, so I really want to see what that's all about, but I can't imagine reading an entire book about her because she's just so awful. And then Peony, she is one of my favorite characters. She was so fun and brought like that, just that fun, childish aspect to the story with her crush on Prince Kai and just her bubbly, outgoing, always happy personality. And I also loved Aiko, which is the family's android. She is hilarious as well. She's just super funny and she has like a defect in her personality chip, which I think is just great. I mean, we're all a little crazy, so I think that that's great that Marissa Meyer put that in there. I think that makes her a very relatable character as well, even though she is an android. And I think that pretty much touches on most of the main characters, at least the ones that I really enjoyed from this story. So let's quick touch on the writing style. The writing style in this book is very easy to read. It is very simple, very addicting. Not too confusing, not too simple though, to the point where it's not enjoyable to read. I just really liked this. It was very easy to read, and I felt like when I did sit down and read this, I flew through it. And then finally, let's talk about my enjoyment of this book. So if you couldn't tell by what the rest of this video has said, I really enjoyed this book. I loved the introduction into this storyline that we're getting set up for the rest of the Lunar Chronicles. I thought this was just a great introduction, a great first book to this series, and I'm just really excited to see where the rest of this series goes. I hear that the rest of the books just keep getting better and better, so I am so excited to get to Scarlet next. Overall, I rated this book a 4 out of 5 stars because of the slow plot and the occasional wanting of more from this book. I couldn't give it a full 5 stars, but I really did enjoy it. I would recommend it to anyone. I can't think of anyone who wouldn't enjoy this. I just think it's a good, fun story. So that is it, you guys. That is my non-spoiler review of Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I hope you enjoyed it. I know a lot of you have read this book, so I would love to hear your thoughts on the book in the comments down below. I would also love to hear what your favorite book in the Lunar Chronicles series is, because I'm just so excited to continue on with the rest of the books, and I'd like to know which one I should be anticipating the most. I think the general consensus is Cress. However, I know a lot of people haven't quite had the time to read Winter yet, so That one, maybe I won't hear as much feedback about, but I'm hearing a lot of people love that too, and that it's a great series ender. So overall, I'm just like so excited to finally be reading this series. It's been a long time coming. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you on my next video. Bye!